Drake White with Can't You See. This is a Marshall Tucker Band song covered by Drake. This is the CVT guitar lesson for Joel. And Joel, like I told you when I was texting you, that's the whole progression is D, C, G, and D throughout the whole song. So a lot of freedom that you're going to be able to take here as a strummer, right? So what I figured I would do, I still sectioned it and time stamped it, but you can put them in at random. You know, you can take section 1 and do it for half the song if you want, but the way I kind of like how it's set up here, because it kind of builds with it. You want to be thinking dynamics and you know, in the verse part of the vocals, strumming softer, that type of stuff, and then you know, you can hear when you watch them play it on YouTube, and you can see where it's more aggressive, and when you're singing harder, you're going to want to strum harder, right? So you can still play around this, you know. So I'll give you the stamped forms here, and you can do them exact or play around with them, you know. That's the key. So we're starting, the tuning is standard, section 1, 0 seconds in, D major, and I'm playing around some of these chords, he is too, by adding some suspendeds and, you know, it's like a D sus, a C to a C2, just stuff like that. So our first chord, D major, from the bottom string up, is just standard D major, 2, 3, 2, open, and my thumb I'm going to mute string 6. Okay, it's not written in your tabs, but if you hit the open A, it's totally fine. The D major has an A note in it, and it's almost easier to hit it rather than try not to hit it. So we're going to go down, 2, 3, and then from there, so down, 2, 3, and then we're going to go up, down, up. And over that is another D, D suspended, add your pinky to the 3rd fret high E, lift your pinky off, back to D major, up, down, and then open E and B. Basically, these are just fillers in between the chords, so it's not so mechanical, cut and dry. You don't highlight this little passing notes in between the chords. In other words, you don't want them super loud. They're just to keep the flow. Here's what I mean. That little, and we've talked about this before, and I've talked when you took lessons on Skype, but as well in several CVT lessons. So I know you're picking up on what I'm putting down here. So that's the concept. You're going to use that over C major. It's just a standard way of playing the C major, 3A, 2D, and 1B. And you're going to do the same strum, but check it out. Down, 2, 3, up, down, lift your middle finger off, up, down, so you have, and then I'm grabbing those opens again, E and B and the G. And like I said, it doesn't matter, you just don't want to go, you know what I mean, just in passing. G major, he's using the 3-finger version, 3, 2 up top, and then 3 on the high E. We're going to do the same concept. Down, 2, 3, up, down, down. That secondary up, down, lift your middle finger off, or index finger off. So each chord follows that format of lifting to the 2 chord. And you may not even hear the change a whole lot, especially on the G. It's just, I think, because of the fullness of the chord, but you have to accent maybe a little harder if you want to pull that note out, right? There's our opens, right back into D. And I want to change up the ending to keep it interesting here. So we're going to end up going to D major, down. So you got to pay close attention to the strum here. Down, and then upstroke, downstroke. Downstroke is our D suspended. Right back to D major, up, D2. We're going to lift the middle finger off to where it's an open high E and go 2 times. And then a downstroke over the D suspended. So we're just playing around with that's the melody line within the chord. And that's what I call playing around the chords. So, try not to fumble over that. If you look at the strum, it'll help you out, because you're going down, up, down, down, down. And that gets us through section 1. Then he starts whistling on the next part. This is section 2, 14 seconds in. He'll whistle through a whole progression, and then he'll sing over 2 more, which is going to give us 3 times. And so, like I said, I wanted to change the strums. You've got 3 different strum progressions that we're using here. And this one's actually what he's doing. D major. Once again, the chords are in the same order that they have been. We're going to go down, 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 up, change. Okay, so your strum progression is actually if you get that stuck in your head, you're good, because you're going to apply that over all the next 3 chords. Alright, so from D to C to G to D, same strum. And I dynamically don't strum as hard. Start it over. You can hit some of them harder, like alright, so that was 3 times through. Our third section and final section comes in at section 3, 55 seconds in. Still, like I said, same chord progression, but we're going to play around on the ending of this one, just like we did at the end of section 1. So our strum here is probably the more busy of all of them. It's going to go down, 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 up, down, up, down, down, up. So down, 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 up, down, up, down, 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 up. So get that memorized. If you have to, just play it over mutes to get it stuck in your head, and then apply that to C major and G major. So let me do those first 3 chords. This will be more dynamics. Oops, let me see. I had. That's what we're doing on the end of that. Down, 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 up, down. On D suspended. Let's do just that. And I'm kind of accenting D major, D2, and D sus. Watch. I lost it. On the D suspended, I go up, down, up. Slow down. And it'll take a while probably, but you get used to that upstroke accenting on that. And then you just play that throughout. Now, throughout the rest of the song, you can try to keep that same format. When he's in the verse and it's softer, you know, go to section 2. As far as section 1, which is how we introed this, what I put at timestamp 438 is go back to the intro. And this isn't super uncommon, you know, for a song to start with an intro, never touch the intro again for the whole song until you get to the very end of the song. So that's how this is set up. I put section 1, no star, match guitar with vocals. So your vocals are going to kind of lead this. And just strum soft. And you can slow it down part way through or whatever. But let your vocals kind of lead this. Let it be off of mood completely. So you'd have... Let's see. Oh, it's that one. Yeah, so... Okay, so you'll end, and I put no star in there, so you'll end on the D major. Just you don't have to play anything after that, you know. And there you go. Good stuff, Joel. I think this will be good. You know, you're playing, you're just going to start noticing strum patterns. It's good to learn them, like what I'm sending you here. You know, memorize those strum patterns, but also start learning to play around the chords. You can change up, do different endings than what I threw on some of these, you know. But memorize these and learn them. And the more you got, the better, you know. All right, so take care. Thanks, Joel.